Raila Odinga, popularly known as Baba. To some, he was the voice of the streets, and to others, he was the thorn in the side of the state. To a whole generation, he was family, the man you argued about at your dining table. Raila Amolo Odinga was born on January 7, 1945 in Maseno, Nyanza. His father was Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who was a founding elder of Kenya. You know, he was the first vice president after independence. So yes, politics was at the breakfast table. But families are complicated. Growing up under a famous name brings attention and pressure. It's not all ceremony, it's expectation. Raila went to local schools, Kisumu Union Primary and later Maranda High School. And his schooling included a time abroad in Germany. That Germany chapter would matter. Raila wasn't only absorbing technology and engineering. You know, he studied mechanical engineering and related technical courses. He was also absorbing ideas, socialism, cross-border solidarity, and a language of politics that was international. That early education added technical thinking to his political instincts. He learned to plan and tinker, and that would show later in how he organized campaigns and coalitions. Into adult life, Raila joined the world of activism, student organizing, labor unions, and community mobilizing. Kenya in the early 1970s and early 80s was tightening. The space for dissent was shrinking. The political culture was getting risky. Raila's emergence was not sudden. It was a long build. He argued, he organized, he pushed for multi-party freedoms as others were pulled to one-party control. Those actions had costs. He found himself in trouble with the state more than once. Arrests, short detentions, interrogations, the kind of things that shape a person. The constant low-grade pressure and the occasional dramatic clampdowns. All this taught Raila early that politics in Kenya was not a debate on stage. It was a survival exercise. Now let's talk about the 1982 coup season. We need to pause here because the 1982 coup attempt, it changed the weather. After that failed coup, the Moi government rounded up scores of suspects and opposition figures. It was a moment when the state hardened. Raila was swept up into that wider net. He was detained, monitored, and at times effectively silenced. These were not short, polite arrests. Many detainees were held for long stretches without trial. The legal instruments available to the state allowed indefinite detention under security regulations. That's a bureaucratic cruelty. It's legal on paper and brutal in life. People lived through sleeping on concrete floors, being woken in the night for interrogation, and surviving on thin food rations. Amnesty reports from the era, survivor testimonies, and later interviews, all this described beatings, isolation, and a system designed to break spirits. This was the dark training ground of a generation of dissidents. For Raila, these years were not theater. They left marks. When you see the determined face on TV, remember, it was carved in cells and not only in rallies.